I'm at Southwark Cathedral next to London Bridge, a proudly inclusive church where people of many different cultures worship together. Now, after the recent tragic events, Songs of Praise is here to celebrate the spirit of love, light and unity, which is helping our communities recover. This week I'm with Christians helping residents of the Grenfell Tower tragedy.
This is church.
It is church.
This is doing church.
Josie Darby meets the Church of England's youngest black vicar who has a positive message of change.
Put the knives down, put the guns down and create a better future for everybody else.
And how the Salvation Army support our emergency services in testing times.
I like it because it's Christianity with the sleeves rolled up.
In a show of togetherness, people of different faiths have gathered here at Southwark Cathedral. And we begin with a hymn which expresses a profound sense of hope in God. Southwark Cathedral sits right next to Borough Market, and both were closed for a week after the terrorist attack here. But since then, the Dean of the Cathedral, the Very Reverend Andrew Nunn, has felt a new sense of unity in this neighbourhood.
We've been here kind of around about 1400 years. The market's been here 1,000 years. And so the attack on the community felt very much like an attack on what has been established here, but with deep roots, Aled, deep roots. But tremendously positive things come out of what was so negative. The relationships here, we knew the landlord, but we didn't know the landlord as we now know the landlord. When the Archbishop of Canterbury came, he said that one of the kind of unwitting consequences of the terrorist action was to actually strengthen community. You know, that actually the goodness of people is so much stronger than any amount of evil. And that is a real thing of hope for me. I knew it, but I now know it more.
Shall we go and take a walk through the market?
That'd be fantastic. Come on.
so many different cultures, so many different faiths.
That's right.
Did you find that all faiths pulled together after the incident?
It was really interesting how that worked, because a young Muslim guy from the parish, he texted me and said he couldn't go home, could he come to me? So he ended up staying in the deanery that evening.
Gosh.
And then on the back of that, we've had 100 imams and Muslim scholars on London Bridge. We were praying together and witnessing to what we share. And then on the first Friday after the attack, I was invited to go and speak during Friday prayers at our local mosque.
Gosh.
Yeah, it was the greatest privilege, really, to be able to speak to those people and just say about our shared humanity.
And what do you say? Good will always win.
Good will always win, Alan.
The market was packed. It's good to see that your cathedral's busy as well.
Yeah, lots of people come here and find something that's peaceful, an oasis, a place to pray. The values that we seek to live by are those of inclusion, of welcome, where diversity is not tolerated but celebrated. Mm-hmm. And I think it's only through those kind of values, which we try to live out day by day, that good things can happen, that we recognise every person around us as our neighbour.
What happened at Grenfell Tower on the 14th of June, as you can see behind me, led to devastation on an enormous scale. One of the many organisations here doing their bit to try and help the healing process is the Tabernacle Church.
Hi.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Very nice to see you. Wow. I joined Pastor Derek Wilson and his team of volunteers for a day to see how they've transformed their church into a distribution centre for survivors of the Grenfell Tower tragedy.
So we got clothes, we got bedding, we got toiletries, baby foods.
So what happens when this is a church? Do people just sit on the floor, or you know, if you're up there doing your bit, am I having to look over clothes rails to see you?
We just take these rails across the road, and we put back out the chairs, and Sunday morning we have church.
Wow.
Well, this is church.
It is church.
This is doing church.
Real life church.
That's right, absolutely.
Every day there's a buzz of activity. The church team head out to deliver goods to former Grenfell Tower residents. And back at base, I'm meeting one of the volunteers, Charlie. She commutes here from Essex and has more reasons than most to be involved.
Well, I had a fire about 10 years ago and I lost my home, so I wanted to put something back.
God, how lovely.
When people help me.
What's it been like being here?
It's been emotional. Yeah, it's tough, but it's been worth it because these people have lost everything, and I think it's the least we can do. And we've just all come together just for the one reason, to help.
So you don't go to this church normally or anything?
No,
like that?
but I've come back to church because I'm
really?
here. Yeah, I come to the service.
Wow.
Spurred me to carry on. So.
God, amazing. One of the former residents of Grenfell Tower is Luca. He survived the fire, but has lost everything and is now being helped by the Tabernacle.
It's good to help places like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you have a faith yourself?
probably do, yeah.
Why do you say probably?
And because at this moment I really don't know who to trust or not. This makes a little bit easier, you know, places like this church and some other places makes our position and our situation, which one we are right now, a bit easier. And thank you. I would like to thanks to all of them. They try to do as much they can.
There are a lot of scared people here in this community now.
There is, yeah, there is.
Can you see a light at the end of the tunnel at this moment in time?
It's far away. I hope there is a light, but it's far away.
What gives you that hope? What gives you that the energy to keep on going?
Unfortunately, this is not my first time to get through this situation, so I've got a few times through, and I hope I will get this time as well.
I hope so too. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you.